Hey guys, Mark240 here. Just bringing you a video, a survival guide for the zombie map Shangri-La. I'd say this probably works best in solo. If you tried doing this with multiple people, it'd be a lot more awkward. Basically, what it is you camp it out at the start of every round. You sort of wait by the water slide, like I'm doing. I have the upgraded AK-7 for you because I find having like a weapon off the wall really helps. So like, you know, when you need the ammo, you need to go buy it straight back. My secondary gun's the upgraded ray gun as well because that's pretty helpful. You can see the perks I'm using there. And basically, yeah, when you get surrounded, you go down the slide. Throw a few grenades back, so pretty handy. And obviously, you know, you got the AK-7 for you there on the wall if you ever need the ammo. Which obviously, when I run out, I go get. And basically, you just do that. You come straight back up here and run to where you just were and rinse and repeat, pretty much. It's probably not the best tactic out there, but it worked pretty well for me in this run. So if you're not that great at zombies, or you just don't seem to be able to get that far, at least, you know, give this tactic a go. You don't have to have the weapons I use. This is just like my preference more than something you have to use. But main reason for uploading this video really is obviously I got quite far and I was quite happy with the tactic and that, but also I haven't uploaded in a while, so I had to upload something. But hopefully, you know, this guide will help you out and get you further in zombies. But like I say, it is more of a solo tactic than a multiplayer tactic, because with more people there's zombies going after everyone, and obviously people start going sort of like the opposite way to you. They kind of run into you, you run into their zombies, they run into yours, you both get down, things like that, you know. It can mess up. So, also with this, it's probably worth having a fairly good amount of cash. There, I got about 12 grand there. It's worth having a lot, because obviously to get the upgrade ammo costs 4.5 grand every time. So there are times where you're gonna be going down in money rather than sort of it. Basically, it just helps have more money, you know, so you can actually afford the ammo when you need it, rather than having to scavenge for whatever you can get. As I'm on the subject of zombies and all that, I may as well talk about the new map pack, Resurrection. Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard of it by now. I was going to do a video sort of when it was announced, but I know that, and you know, everybody has done now, that everybody was going to do it. You know, everyone's going to upload videos about the map pack, what's in it, all that. So I figured I'm not going to do the same, because there's enough videos of that out there as it is. You know, you don't want another one. But if you've seen any of my other videos, like when Shangri-La first came out, I did day one gameplay of that, both solo and co-op, and I'll be doing the same again for the moon map, and I'll probably do the same for the remastered versions of the World at War maps as well. So if you want to see like day one gameplay footage of that, just hit the subscribe button, and you know, the second it's up, you'll be notified and you can take a look at it. But I mean, I'll be doing plenty of videos on the moon map and the World at War maps as well. So if you want to see them, then you don't have to subscribe. You know, you can just check my channel on the day, whatever floats your boat. But if you want to be the first to know, you know, just hit the subscribe button, and you know, it's free. You know, it's not like it costs you anything to do so. Yeah. So basically, here I was just, you know, hoping I could get, because I heard the monkey sort of making its noise, screaming, whatever it is it does, which it had a drop, and I wanted to sort of stop it, but it had already gone. So, but basically, all you got to do is literally, as you've just been watching what I've been doing there, is just rinse and repeat that pretty much. Also, definitely recommend getting things like bow knives and claymores and things like that to help build your defence. Now sometimes this happens, which basically the thing is not to panic and just try to improvise on what you're going to do. When you get surrounded, you can't go your normal path. You don't have to go that way. Don't always try to do that. If you quite literally can't. It's worth just running and making sure you don't get downed, which is what I do here. And also with fire zombies and that, I find it easier just to walk near them so they suicide, rather than wasting ammo, and because they take quite a beating. The shriekers ain't too bad because they die pretty quick, but the fire zombie can take a real beating sometimes. So, plus when it explodes, obviously zombies that are near it walk through the fire die. So that's obviously something to use to your advantage. If you haven't seen any of my other videos at all, I recommend having a look at them. There's a lot of good zombie videos in there. So if you're a zombie fan, you like other people that do zombie videos, because I know there's quite a few good zombie players out there. I recommend checking out the other videos. There's quite a few good ones there. And if you wouldn't mind maybe giving it a like or commenting on it, that would be great. So basically every round, sort of, if you can, I recommend sort of rebuilding the barriers just to try and help you out a little bit more, as well as, you know, putting claymores. Bowie knife as well I find quite useful, because if you really have to stab, it's better to have a knife that does more damage. And as you can see, I've got the money, you know. So yeah, this is another place to rebuild as well, because they obviously come from here. And setting claymores up there as well, set your defences. And also here, when if you have to use these, I prefer to jump through the mud like that. And also when you do that, jump in before you go in there, as you'll get through the mud a bit quicker before it slows you down. So that's always a good way to do it. I mean, there are, you probably, you know, if you're watching this, you probably looked at other people's strategies for the Shangri-La, as well as other maps more than likely. And there are some other good strategies out there. I mean, I don't think there's any one strategy that's completely better than the other, but it's not bad. Also, as you can see there with that drop, I didn't even attempt to go for it, because sometimes you just don't want to risk that. If it's something like a nuke or insta-kill where it's going to be really beneficial, then sometimes it's worth going for, but as that was just a carpenter, I think, it's really not worth it. So as you can see here, you know, it's a nuke, not too many zombies around anyway, but it's worth picking that up. Because things like that, sometimes you just need that. As well as that, as you can see, I've got max ammo here. I mean, also having monkeys really helps with getting the drops. If you haven't got monkeys, obviously it could be a bit more of a challenge, but you know, if you're trying to get a high round, you shouldn't ever risk things unless you really have to. That's like a key rule, I think, for zombies, is don't risk it unless you really have to. So basically, I mean, this is actually that is actually it. All you've got to do, pretty much. I've been doing it for about, well, most of this game. Obviously, once I got the ray gun and that's when I started. Other than that, I was pretty much just running around the map, looping it, because that also works. It's not a bad tactic either. As well as going down the slide, minecart, slide, minecart, that kind of path. But yeah, if you just keep doing this round after round, then, you know, after a while you can get quite far with this, because this is actually quite a good tactic, and it's not particularly hard to do either. Obviously having the right weapons help, but you know, unfortunately it has to come to an end at some point, as I found out there. But that is actually the best I've ever done in solo on this map, which is quite sad really. But anyway, if you want to give that a go and let me know how you do, basically, so leave a comment below or something. So if you like this, please subscribe, it'd help a lot. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all later. Maybe. Maybe not.